I decided to do 1,000 Terrorized Mephisto runs. I did all of this online on ladder and it took me 7 weeks to complete this video, but in the end it was worth it. This is the gear that I was using: the Oculus with an Ist rune, Shaco with a perfect topaz, 27 Maras, Spirit Monarch, Viper Magi with a perfect topaz, 39 Chances, 30 Nagelring, Arachnid Mesh, Stone of Jordan, and 50 Magic Find War Traveler. I also had a perfect Magic Find Guide, 2 Skillers, a 71 Cold Sunder, a 14-29 Annihilus, a 16-19 Torch, and a bunch of small charms giving me Magic Find and Resist. That brings me to 407 Magic Find and a little bit above the 105 FCR breakpoint. As for my build, I'm a generic Blizzard Frozen Orb Sorceress. With that being said, let's get into it. By the way, only about 11% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It would help my channel so much. On run 6, Mephisto dropped 2 things: a unique Spiderweb Sash and a set Corona. The unique sash is Arachnid Mesh, which is the best belt in the game for casters. It rolled almost minimum enhanced defense, but it doesn't matter. The set Corona is Griswold's Valor, which I don't think has any use case. 10 runs later on run 16, I found 2 things again: a set Helm and a set Amulet. The set Helm is Mevina True Sight, which is the helm that gives the highest amount of increased attack speed in the game. The Amulet is Tolresha Amulet, which is quite good for Sorceress until you find something better. Then on run 23, Mephisto dropped something else for Amazons: a set Grand Matron Bow. Yes, this is Mavina's caster. It's honestly not a very good bow, but it's still very cool to find. On the next run 24, I found something very good for Necromancers: a unique Lich Wand, Bone Shade, and it's F, and it even rolled pretty good, missing only 1 to Bone Wall and 1 to Teeth. On run 31, I found a unique Cryptic Sword that I've not seen very often before: Frostwind. It's pretty cool and it rolled with 14 to Arctic Blast, but I'm not sure if this has any specific use case. 5 runs later on run 36, I found a very good budget armor for Act 2 Mercenaries, Guardian Angel. The increased maximum resist make it a very good choice for Trav runs. On run 40, Mephisto dropped a very rare set Sacred Armor: Immortal King's Soul Cage. This is the most difficult to find piece of the Immortal King set. The only very good thing about this armor is the chance to cast level 5 enchant, which gives a 56% bonus to attack rating for 4 minutes. 2 runs later on run 42, I found a very good weapon for Throw Barbarians: Warstrike. It rolled with pretty low enhanced damage and it would be much better Eth, but it's still a very nice find. On run 59, Mephisto dropped 2 unique weapons. The first is an Assassin's Weapon, Shadow Killer. It's a very slow weapon and I'm not sure if it has any specific use case. The second weapon is Widowmaker, which is only used in very niche PvP builds. 2 runs later on run 61, I found a very good budget armor for Mercenaries: Gladiator's Bane. The reduced damages and can't be frozen stats are very good, but unfortunately it has a minimum level requirement of 85, which is very high. On run 73, I found something else that can be very good for Throw Barbarians: Lacerator, but unfortunately it's also not F and it rolled very low enhanced damage. On run 82, Mephisto dropped a very good weapon for Shapeshifting Druids: Executioner Justice. Very high attack speed, chances to cast Decrepify, Crushing Blow, and minus target defense. That's a very solid weapon. 2 runs later on run 84, I found a unique weapon that I've never seen before: Stone Crusher. It's a very cool find, but I don't think it has any specific use case. On run 96, Mephisto dropped one of the best weapons in the game back in Lord of Destruction before Rune Wars: Doombringer, and it rolled with almost perfect enhanced damage with 247. Then on run 103, Mephisto dropped a nice rune for me. It's the rune that I use the most for trading this ladder. Maybe some of you know where this is going. Yes, an Ist rune. What an amazing find. Ist rune has a drop rate of about 1 in 22,000 on Terrorized Mephisto. 10 runs later on run 113, Mephisto dropped a very good shield for Sorceress: Lidless Wall. This is very good until you can get your hands on a Spirit Monarch. And if you play as a Nova Sorceress, this is the best shield in the game to maximize your mana. On run 122, I found very good unique Scarab Shell boots: Sandstorm Trek, and the stats are all over the place. Very low defense and poison resist, but maximum 15 strength and vitality. These boots are also very good for Nova Sorceress because the only resist you really need is poison. Then 25 runs later on run 147, I found a very good belt for survivability: Verdungo's Hearty Cord. The very high amount of vitality, the FHR, and the damage reduction make it very good for hardcore, and the replenished life makes it especially good for PvP. On run 166, Mephisto dropped one of the best defensive shield in the game game, Gurkay's Sanctuary. This is a very good shield for hardcore and PvP. Unfortunately, it rolled with quite low damage reductions. Then on run 173, I found a pretty good unique one-hand weapon, Nord Standardizer. It's not an endgame weapon at all, but it's still more than enough for a Zeal Paladin to be able to clear hell. On the next run, 174, Mephisto dropped a very good and underrated unique Demon Hide armor, Skin of the Flayed One, and it's even better F because it self-repairs. The lifesteal and replenished life make it a very good PvP armor. Then on run 176, I found something very cool. Mephisto dropped a unique Grand Charm, and I can't pick it up, so it's a Guide. How is my first Guide going to roll? 137, 15, 21. Very low magic find, but it doesn't matter. This can be used as a gamble Guide. Guide number 1. 5 runs later on run 181, I found a very good niche unique ring that is very useful to farm nil attack. Nature's Peace. It rolled with very low poison resist and damage reduction, but it doesn't really matter. The slain monsters rest in peace stats prevents nil attack to use the corpses of slain enemies to cast corpse explosion. So if you farm nil attack, you absolutely need this ring. Then on run 191, Mephisto dropped one of the most sought after armor early ladder, Viper Magi, and it rolled with 32 all resist out of 35, which is very good. This is a very nice find. On run 194, I found a unique Berserker axe that I've never seen before, Death Cleaver. The 66 deadly strike chances is very cool, but I'm not sure if this weapon has any specific use case. On run 226, I found one of the best javelins in the game for Amazons, Thunderstroke, but unfortunately it rolled with only 2 to javelin skills. 4 runs later on run 230, Mephisto dropped a very nice unique ring. It's the only unique ring that has the can't be frozen stat. Yes, Ravenfrost, and it rolled with very high attack rating and dexterity. This is a very good find. On run 248, I found a unique weapon that I'm not sure has any use case, Cranebeak, and it rolled with very high magic find. On run 272, I found something else for Amazons, a set armor, Mavina's Embrace. Like Mavina's bow, Amazons don't really use this armor, but it's still very nice to find. Then 4 runs later on run 276, Mephisto dropped a unique Phase Blade, Lightsaber. This is a very good budget weapon, but unfortunately it rolled with very low enhanced damage and minimum mana steal of 5. On run 282, Mephisto dropped 2 things, a unique armor and another unique Phase Blade. The unique armor is Viper Magi, again, but this time with maximum 35 all resist, which is extremely good. And the Phase Blade is Lightsaber, again. Maybe one day we'll find an Azure Wrath. Then on run 290, Mephisto dropped a unique jewel, a facet. What is this going to roll? 5-5 poison level up facet. Unfortunately it's poison, but it's always cool to find the perfect facet. 5 runs later on run 295, I found a very nice Demon Hide sash for melee characters, String of Ears, but unfortunately it rolled with very mid stats. On run 312, Mephisto dropped 2 things, unique knives and a unique helm. The unique knives are Warshrike that we found before. The unique helm is Steel Skull, which is nothing special in the end game, but it has a required level of only 35, so it's a very good helm if you find this while leveling in normal or nightmare difficulty. On run 320, I found a unique shield that can give huge bonus to cold resist, Medusa's Gaze. It can give up to 80 cold resist, which is crazy. Other than that, I don't think it has any use case. 3 runs later on run 323, I found a very good unique amulet that is used by a lot of different builds, Mares. This is exactly what I'm using, but unfortunately it rolled with only 20 all resist out of 30, which is the minimum. On run 332, I found very good unique mesh boots for Amazons, Silkweave. The +5 to mana after each kill makes it almost impossible for Javazons to run out of mana. On the next run 333, I found a very niche unique fairy visor for Barbarians, Wolfowl. It rolled with 3 to Warcries, but unfortunately all the other stats are right in the middle. On run 346, I found 2 unique weapons. The first is for Assassins, Bartok's Cutthroat. That was one of the best weapons in the game in Lord of Destruction before patch 1.10. The second unique weapon is Blade of Alibaba, which is the second best item in the game for magic find, with 2 Ist runes that can get up to 159 magic find. The only other item with more MF than this would be a weapon with 6 Ist runes. That would be 180 magic find. 7 runs later on run 353, I found one of the best weapons in the game for Act 2 mercenaries, the Reaper's Toll. It rolled with very high enhanced damage of 237, but unfortunately only 12 lifesteal. On run 364, Mephisto dropped something very cool, again, another facet. How is this one going to roll? Well, only 5-3 fire level up. Not that good, but always cool to find a facet. On run 371, I found a very nice budget armor that is especially good for Act 2 mercenaries, Leviathan, and it rolled with almost the maximum strength and damage reduction. It's nothing crazy, but very good if you find it in single player. Then on run 378, Mephisto dropped another unique Grand Charm, and we can't pick it up, so we know it's a Sunder. What is it going to be? 78 Cold Sunder. Yeah, that's terrible. On run 391, Mephisto dropped a unique Shadowplate armor, Steel Carapace. It has a very high defense, but I don't think it has any use case. Then on run 408, I found one of the rarest unique item in the entire game. Mang Song's Lesson. At first glance, it seems really overpowered because of the 5 skills and -2 enemies resist, but I think every sorceress builds in the game have better options, so I don't think it's best in slot for any build in the game, but still that's an amazing find. On run 438, Mephisto dropped one of the best belts in the game for casters, Arachnid Mesh, again, but this time it rolled with a little bit better defense. On run 467, Mephisto dropped 2 unique ranged weapons. The first is Wraith Flight, which is a very good weapon for throw barbarians. The second weapon is Gold Strike Arc, which is pretty good for boazons. If upgraded to Hydra Bow, this is the bow with the highest damage in the game. And maybe you noticed, but I changed my build to Nova. I'm using low Infinity, low Griffin, a 73 Light Thunder, with a CTA in my weapon swap and a Spirit Monarch that I will replace very soon for a Lidless. And now my mercenary is using an Insight for the Meditation Aura. On run 479, Mephisto dropped a unique Grand Charm, and I can pick it up so we know it's a Sunder. What is it going to be? 90 Light Thunder. It's funny that as soon as I switch to Lightning, Mephisto drops me the worst possible Light Thunder. On run 492, Mephisto dropped a nice unique amulet that gives very high amount of fire absorb, the Rising Sun. With this amulet, some monsters like Pit Lords or the Council and Travs can literally heal you. Then on run 505, I found another very nice unique amulet. What is this one going to be? Yes, the Rising Sun. Again, what a coincidence. On run 517, Mephisto dropped one of the best helm in the game for Act 2 mercenaries, Andy's Visage, and it rolled with 10 lifesteal, which is the maximum, but only 127 enhanced defense and 26 strength. On the next run, 518, Mephisto dropped a unique Grand Charm, another Guide. How is this one going to roll? Absolutely terrible, one of the worst Guide I've seen in my entire life, Guide number 2. Then 2 runs later on run 520, Mephisto dropped another unique Grand Charm, and I can't pick it up, so it's a Guide again. I hope it's going to be better than the previous one. Well, it's better, but still absolutely terrible. Guide number 3. On the next run, 521, Mephisto dropped one of the best weapons in the game for Act 2 mercenaries, the Reaper's Toll, for the second time, but this time it rolled a bit lower on enhanced damage and only 11 lifesteal. On run 527, I found a unique shield that I don't recall seeing before, Spirit Ward. It's a very defensive shield, but I don't think it has any specific use case. Then on run 548, Mephisto dropped 2 very uncommon items that we found before. The first is Leviathan, and unfortunately it rolled very low. The second is Lacerator, which also rolled very low, but finding 2 hard to find items at once is always nice. On run 555, Mephisto dropped a very niche unique shield, Black Oak Shield. This shield can be very useful because it makes you pretty much immune to cold damage. On run 574, I found a quite uncommon set Colossus Blade, Bulkado's Sacred Charge. It's not that good and I don't think it has any use case, but it's still very nice to find. Then on run 586, Mephisto dropped one of the best weapons in the game for shapeshifting druids, Rib Cracker. The very fast attack speed and 50 chance of crushing blow make this weapon very powerful, but unfortunately it rolled with only 230 enhanced damage out of 300. On the next run, 587, Mephisto dropped 2 things, a unique sorceress weapon and set gloves. The unique weapon is Escuda's Temper, and it rolled absolutely terrible with 2 skills, 14, 15, and 30 energy. The set gloves are Laying of Hands, which are pretty much the best gloves in the game for physical characters. Then on the next run, 588, I found 2 things again, a unique armor and a unique shield. The unique armor is one of my favorite items in the game to identify, Ormus Robes, and it rolled with 12, 11, 13, and Telekinesis, which is unfortunately not very good. The unique shield is Dragon Scale, which seems very cool, but I don't play Paladin, and I'm not sure if this has any specific use case. 10 runs later on run 598, I found another sorceress weapon, and this one has fixed stats. The Oculus. FCR, Vitality, Energy, all resist mana after each skill and magic find. The only thing that I really hate about this weapon is the chances to teleport, which can be extremely annoying, but other than that, it's an absolutely amazing weapon. On run 601, Mephisto dropped a very good Necromancer weapon that we found before, Bone Shade. It didn't roll very good, but at least it has 3 to bone spare. On run 628, I found the item that gives the highest amount of physical damage reduction in the game with 35%. Storm Shield. That's an amazing shield for hardcore characters. Unfortunately, the cap on physical damage reduction is 50%, so you can't really use this with Shaft Stop and Rock Stopper to become pretty much invincible, because the damage reduction will just stop at 50. On run 654, Mephisto dropped some unique heavy bracers, Ghoulhide. These gloves are very good against undead enemies, but I'm not sure if they have any realistic use case. On run 661, Mephisto dropped a very good Amazon crossbow, Buriza. That was one of the best Amazon weapon in the game back in Lord of Destruction before rune words. 7 runs later on run 668 I found some unique thrown weapons that we found before. Wraith Flight, and this time it rolled with 13 lifesteal and 180 enhanced damage, which is quite good. Then on run 673 Mephisto dropped a very good magic find armor for Sorceress, Tall Russia Guardianship, and it rolled with almost perfect defense of 940 out of 941. I think this is the first Tall Russia armor that I find this ladder, so it's a very nice drop. On run 688 I found 2 items, a unique belt and a set weapon. The unique belt is Verdungo, that we found before, but this time it rolled with 40 vitality and 13 replenished life, which is very good, but unfortunately the rest is very mid. The set weapon is Griswold Redemption, and with 4 sockets. I don't think it has any specific use case, but it's still a very nice find. On run 710, Mephisto dropped the only unique shield in the game that can have up to 3 sockets. Headhunter's Lorry. It's pretty cool, but unfortunately it rolled with terrible resist and almost the minimum defense. Then on run 732, I found my favorite unique gloves to identify, Draco's Grasp, and it rolled with 10 lifesteal, 15 strength, and 10 life after each kill, which are all the maximum, but unfortunately pretty low enhanced defense. These gloves are very good for Smiter Paladins. On the next run, 733, Mephisto dropped a very good unique weapon for Necromancers, Arm of King Lyric. This is one of the best one in the game for summoners. On run 759, I found a very nice unique giant thresher, Storm Spire. It looks very cool and it gives very high lightning resist, but I don't think it has any specific use case. Then on run 766, I found one of the best helm in the game for physical characters, Guillaume's Face. Faster hit recovery, crushing blow, deadly strike, and strength. If you find this in single player, you will probably use it for a very long time. Then on the next run, 774, I found a unique Scourge. Is this going to be Stormlash? Well, no, only Horizon's Tornado, but it's still a very nice find. On the next run, 775, Mephisto dropped one of the best belts in the game for casters, Arachnid Mesh. Again, this is the third Arachnid Mesh of these runs. Then on run 798, I found a very good unique armor that we found before, the Gladiator's Bane, but this time it rolled almost perfect. 198 enhanced defense, damage reduced by 20, and magic damage reduced by 18. This is a very nice find. On run 828, Mephisto dropped one of the best amulets in the game for Javasons, the Cat's Eye. 30 faster run walk, 20 increased attack speed, and 25 to dexterity. This is all very good. Then 4 runs later on run 832, I found a very good budget weapon for Act 2 mercenaries, Hone Sundin. The very high chances of crushing blow makes it especially good against Ubers, and the 3 open sockets gives this weapon a lot of versatility. On run 867, Mephisto dropped a unique amulet that gives both lifesteal and mana steal. Yes, it's Crescent Moon, but unfortunately it rolled very mid. Then 15 runs later on run 882, Mephisto dropped some very good javelins for Throw Barbarians, Demon's Arc. It rolled with 205 enhanced damage but only 9 lifesteal out of 12. On run 898, Mephisto dropped another unique Grand Charm, and I can't pick it up, so it's a Guide. I hope this one is going to be better than the others. Well, no. Unfortunately, Guide number 4 is also absolutely terrible. On run 907, Mephisto dropped a niche unique round shield, Moser's Blessed Circle. It's nothing crazy, but if you need some resist, especially if you play single player, you can put 2 perfect diamonds in there and this shield gives you 63 all resist, which is very good. On run 923, Mephisto dropped 2 things, a unique bow and unique assassin's weapon. The unique bow is Wind Force and it rolled perfect with 8 mana steal. That was one of the most valuable unique items back in Lord of Destruction. I still remember about 22 years ago in patch 109, I used to run around the cow level on my Amazon and destroying everything with that bow. And the other weapon is Shadow Killer, and it rolled with quite high enhanced damage. 2 runs later on run 925, Mephisto dropped a set armor that we found before, Immortal King's Soul Cage, always nice to find. Then on run 991, Mephisto dropped a small charm and a unique amulet. The small charms give 7 to 10 fire damage and 8 to 18 cold damage. That's very good. And it's also very uncommon to find small charms giving 2 different types of elemental damage. And the unique amulet is only Nukozan Relic. On run 996, Mephisto dropped a unique jewel, a facet. How is this facet going to roll? Only 3 fire level up. It's terrible, but it's always cool to find a facet. 2 runs later on run 998, I found 2 things, a unique Hydra Bow and a unique Grand Charm. The unique Hydra Bow is Wind Force. Again, I can't believe I found 2 Wind Force in 75 runs. That's crazy. And the Grand Charm is an 86 Cold Thunder, which is terrible. And then on run 999, Mephisto dropped a unique champion axe that I'm not sure how to pronounce, Messerschmitt's Reaver. This can be a very good weapon for shapeshifting Druids. And that's it. It was really fun to do these 1000 Terrorized Mephisto runs. It allowed me to find a lot of items that I've never seen before. I'm also currently working on a 1000 Terrorized Andy video, and Andy is dropping a lot more stuff than Mephisto, so be sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss it. Big thanks to all the channel members for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for all the support, and thanks to all of you for watching this video until the end. I wish you all wonderful holidays. See you all in 2026.